Tariq Radio, like and subscribe. Tariq Radio, like and subscribe.
Come on. All right, let's get Zentanti. What's your name, ma'am? Zentani? Miss Zentani. Hop on, Zantani. Or okay, she got out of here. Okay, she must have hit the button by mistake. Okay, she must have hit the button by mistake. She, hey, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. She got up out of here. Well, she's back. I guess Zentani. Zentani, are you in here? Hey,
Yeah, I got bugged out.
okay, what's going on, Zentani?
Nothing much.
Now, where are you from, Zentani?
I've spoken to you twice.
Don't remember.
I'm from Sweden. Yeah, I'm a nobody.
Okay.
I'm from Sweden or America. I don't. You could say both.
Were you the one who was in Florida or something like that?
No,
Okay.
I'm in New York now.
Okay, but were you in Florida or something like that?
No.
Okay, I remember talking to some white woman from Sweden or somewhere, and she was kind of talking low-key weird. But what's on your mind, Zentani?
Oh, I was just interested in joining the two of you, but it's just you and me. I don't know.
Okay, what's on your mind, ma'am?
Nothing much. I guess. Yeah, nothing.
You called for a reason, ma'am.
Got nothing in my brain.
Well, ma'am, you got to put that meth pipe down.
Yeah.
You see? It makes you forget stuff. You forgot what you...
It's so good, though.
I know it is. I know you had a whole spiel that you were going to lay on me, and then when you took a hit of that meth, everything just went out that brain. You just shooting blanks right now. Think about that next hit, huh?
I can't stop thinking about it.
There you go.
No, I didn't expect you to bring me up. I was thinking about I don't remember hearing that in The Godfather.
Yeah, go look.
I was very interested in listening to you guys back and forth. I didn't think you'd bring me up so fast.
There you go. Well, let me let you go ahead and you can go rent The Godfather from like Amazon Prime or something like that. You can watch it, and while you're watching it, you can take a few tokes of that meth and some popcorn, so you can really,
Yeah.
really enjoy yourself. All right, make it a double feature.
That sounds like a great night. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's what us whiteys we love, smoking meth and watching The Godfather.
Yes, and drinking Michelob beer, and eating Rice Krispie treats. Yes. All right.
I don't know what that is, but I'll have to try it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. There you go, dear. Have a good night, beloved. All right.
All right.
At least she's honest about hitting that pipe. All right. All right. No, she wasn't trolling, sweetie. My wife said, "Oh, she's trolling." No, I believe there's a hot pipe. I believe that pipe is right there in her lap. You got to watch her. She sounds like one of them white women who let a bunch of brothers smash and then say they took the pussy. And God, they took it. They coerced me. I want a RICO charge on the Negroes. She's one of them guys. You watch her ass. All right, y'all watch them, brothers. All right. Oh, let me get some folks in here. JT. Let's get JT in here.
Hello, you hear me?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, bro? Glad to be up here again. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Nothing, man. Of course, we agree. So, fully, and again, I always like to acknowledge, all of our rights as a Latin and indigenous community were given to African Americans who went through the suffrage to give us that. So, just always acknowledge that when I come up here. Secondary thing that I have for you, bro. So, I work with at-risk youth and incarcerated youth, 18 to 24 usually, but sometimes minors. And again, I deal with Black Americans And of course, I want to be an ally, and I want to know what your definition would be of that, and how I could best approach that situation.
Well, an
Uh,
ally?
yeah, whatever term you find appropriate.
Yeah, man, just anybody who's like working with us to help us get resources, to help us build, to help us maintain the integrity of the culture,
Hmm.
to help us challenge systematic white supremacy. That's an ally.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's love, yeah. And just to let you know too, I don't know, they have access to Pluto in county jail now, so I guess you have a documentary on there or something like that. But a few of the guys were telling me that they watched something on you recently, so I just wanted to shout that out too, let you know that.
Shout out to the brothers on lockdown, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell the brothers I say keep their head up. And I got to go up there to kind of speak to some of the brothers pretty soon. All right, let me get a couple of more folks in here. Y'all raise those hands. Let's raise those hands. Let's get who's this? I'm gonna get some new faces. Zen Buddha. Zen Buddha. What's up, Zen Buddha? That's a cold name, man. Zen Buddha. That's a cold name. What's up, Zen?
Appreciate it. Hey, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you, man. Where you from, Zen?
Cool. Good to I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Oh, okay. Where's Haitian?
Oh, sorry?
Yeah, are you Haitian?
Oh no, I am not. My parents are from Nigeria.
Oh, okay, there you go. Man, so what's on your mind, Zen?
Yeah, so so I was scrolling on TikTok and I saw a few of your followers there and they were like pushing Donald Trump. So I was thinking for um I wouldn't just say the black community, but for everybody in the states, probably not a good influence. At least from what I saw, they were like
What's not?
celebrating ICE,
No, who ain't?
and
Yeah, you're losing me. You're losing me now. Who's not a good influence?
um, I would say you and your followers, at least from what I've seen personally.
I'm not a good
Um,
influence, or what? And who are my followers? What do I have followers for? What followers? And how do you know?
um,
How do you know people are my followers?
well, they name drop you, and also, maybe you can correct me on this, but I heard the whole FBA thing was something of your influence. If I'm wrong on that, feel free to correct me.
Yeah,
But that's what I've heard.
yeah. I'm not the leader of anything. No, I'm not. There's 43 million foundation of Black Americans, so I can't influence all 43 million, right?
Okay, I mean, I guess we could say specifically the ones that name drop you. Maybe not all, but in fact, I would agree with that because
Yeah, but
at
most
least from what I've seen, most people in real life
who
don't
name.
agree with what you're doing.
What do you mean? Agree with what? What is there to agree with? Either your lineage is your lineage or it's not. Well, so agree with what?
Um, well, for some reason, I've noticed a lot of your followers are like pro Trump, so I just thought that was kind of weird, is all.
That's weird because I didn't even vote for Trump. So what? First of all, I don't have no followers, and I didn't vote for Trump. So that contradicts your whole narrative, right?
I mean, not really, because
So how are they my
there's enough of a
slow down,
I would say
slow down,
there's enough of
oh, slow down, slow down. You can't be my follower and you're doing something that I didn't do. How does that work? And you saying somebody name dropped me? Nobody's name dropping me. Only people name drop me are usually tethers. But there's nobody saying that I'm their leader. Nobody. So how are they my followers? Huh? Zen, unmute your mic, sir.
yeah. I would say your rhetoric could go in a certain direction, um, and your personal behavior could go in another direction, and
Rhetoric. What's my
there
rhetoric?
could
What's my rhetoric?
your rhetoric is pretty directly. It's in line with the Trump administration rhetoric, as in it's very anti-immigrant and it's very divisive, very I would say it's very in line with white supremacist logic, I would say.
Divisive like how? How is it divisive? Divisive from what? You have to have something together in order for it to be divisive.
I kind of mentioned it. It's you're pretty directly anti-immigrant, so I would
I,
say along those
I
lines.
yeah, that's that not wanting immigration to drain our resources, that's not divisive.
I mean, every economist would agree immigration is beneficial for the economy.
How does it
At
benefit,
least from all the studies I've seen.
how does it benefit 43 million foundational Black Americans?
Well, immigration contributes a lot to pretty much all industries. I would say, like the tech industry and the agricultural industry.
How come you didn't contribute to your homeland in Nigeria?
Well, well, for starters, my parents are from Nigeria, but I was born here, and since I was born here, I haven't really had the money to go back to Africa. So that's the main reason why I'm still here.
Wouldn't go back. And if you had it, you wouldn't go back. Where's this
I mean, I'm
where's this divisiveness? What are you talking about? Because I want to look out for the citizens here, and I don't want a bunch of people flooding over here, draining our resources. That's divisive. What makes you think I owe anybody any kind of loyalty and they don't benefit us?
well, like I mentioned before, pretty much all uh, research points in the direction of immigration being beneficial to the economy. So
Huh?
it would be beneficial to
And it don't even benefit your
FBAs.
homeland. So that makes no sense. You can't even benefit your own homeland. Your family can't benefit the place that they fled from. So what you're saying is it kind of contradicts itself. Right?
Well, for starters, I want to say, or wow, for starters, but this kind of takes me back to my main point, where it's like a lot of your rhetoric is in line with white supremacist rhetoric, but it has like a black coat of paint on top of it.
All of it.
Because like a lot of the arguments you make, they're very similar to
Did I?
like the local KKK member, I would say,
Yeah,
because
you're projecting.
oh
You're projecting.
no,
That's you projecting because
it's
no. Your community has little words for us like akata and other things, sir. Y'all have derogatory terms for us. That's a part of your culture, sir. That's like white
no.
supremacy.
In fact, I'm not going to deny there's bigotry in all immigrant communities.
No, slow down. Your community comes over here and y'all would drive cabs and wouldn't pick us up. That was you guys doing that bullshit. You want to talk about who acts like white supremacists? You guys would
Well, another thing I kind of want to throw out there is I respect the historical struggle of black.
slow down because see, now you're starting to change subjects, which you know you're full of crap. But we're gonna do some straightening. You ain't got to rush. We're gonna take time with you. Oh, we're gonna take our time. You might as well get you a nice scoop of egusi and sit it down on your little ashy lap because we're gonna take some time with you tonight, brother. You understand? Now
Oh man.
don't burn your, but we're gonna take time with your little old ashy ass because you can't.
No, that
No,
that's
no,
what you're saying is part of the reason why I like Black America. You have a way of speaking, and you kind of have a way of like roasting that is like super super cool.
yes,
And like I respect the contributions Black Americans have made to like music, to like all types of American culture, and
mm-hmm.
it's something that I feel like the entire world takes for granted. In fact, I was listening to like a few East Asian rappers and like jazz artists and whatnot, and I feel like the Black community's struggles are underappreciated, and that's partially thanks to like white supremacist influences that like to co-opt and like appropriate a lot of the contributions that Black people have made. And I also acknowledge that my family didn't have anything to do with the struggles that Black Americans undertook in this country. In fact, I was reading a book called they were her property.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a lot about the extreme forms of violence and struggle that Black Americans here took part in that my family um, did not encounter. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that if we were to have like some form of reparations, my family personally would not be involved in that because we
Right.
did not personally have to deal with that extreme institutional uh, white supremacist violence and like chattel slavery and whatnot. So I would say that's my main point is I respect the historical Black struggle that my family did not take part in, but I think that your rhetoric kind of abuses that historical struggle, similar to how
What's
um
keep saying my rhetoric?
oh
What's my rhetoric?
well I don't know, like you mentioned, you said that you did not vote for Donald Trump,
I did.
but a lot of your followers are like bragging about like calling ICE and like calling other white supremacist institutions on other immigrants. Or not other, sorry, I know you guys aren't immigrants. Sorry, that was a
Listen,
misspeak there.
right.
Um
And you keep saying my
uh,
fault. You're not talking
yeah,
about
you're
no, 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 no. Just because somebody is calling out a lot of tethering and things like that, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're my followers. They're just part of the 43 million foundation of Black Americans. They ain't got nothing to do with me. It's their lineage. All right.
yeah. In fact, like I mentioned, I acknowledge that there is a form of bigotry that comes with immigrant communities, because it takes like some form of bigotry for any group of people to move into a white supremacist country. And in doing that, they're probably, like statistically, the type of person who does that is going to lean in the direction of the white supremacists rather than the historically oppressed and marginalized communities like the Black
Here's
community in the United States. Um, so I do think there is like a trend there, and I totally understand that from the perspective of um, Black historically oppressed Black people in this country.
here.
I know you guys might go by another name or something like that. I know you're saying FBA or whatever, but um yes, I totally get the frustration there. Those like a lot of immigrants, they have like a big ego and whatnot, and they're like they like to side with the white supremacists, but I think that you kind of do that too
I
because
do. I do.
you say um I think the foundation of your logic is um a lot of like you and a lot of others were scared that well, first you were going after other immigrant communities like Latino communities and whatnot, and then when you noticed that ICE was going after darker skinned people, you that's when you really started pushing the delineation thing, and it was primarily because you were scared that the Trump administration was going to go after you, but you wanted to create like a ideology behind the idea that you would be exempt from the white supremacist Gestapo force known as ICE,
What
when
I
that's completely untrue.
do y'all hear this tether? What ideology? What's the ideology? There's no ideology. What are you talking about? This is that colonizer shit. What ideology?
Um,
No, no, and don't oh, just don't babble. What ideology? There's no ideology. I didn't create an ideology. What ideology? Elaborate. See, don't say something and then can't elaborate on it. There is no ideology.
no, well, I was saying this is kind of how like certain forms of propaganda work is like your rhetoric will go in one direction, but
Yeah.
you're kind of nudging people in another direction
What?
subtly. And in fact,
You're not going to babble. What ideology? A lineage is a lineage. All I do is acknowledge lineage. A lineage is not an ideology, sir. So what ideology are you talking about? And what does it have to
But
do with our lineage?
this kind of takes me back to what I was saying before, where a lot of what you say kind of is in line with white supremacists.
You
You
didn't get that just because you say it doesn't make it true, and that's a projection. Family, this is a case study. Like I said, a lot of these non-FBAs, they don't really have a culture. So they get into these circular customs of just doing shit over and over again without any sense of purpose. You just start spinning in a circle. You start doing these weird customs. And then you get into a custom of lying and then lying over and over again, which is a problem, which is why we delineate.
well, like I mentioned, I was born in the United States, and I understand.
Still got that tether mindset of your fleeing family, and you still have the customs of your failed societies, which is doing things in a loop, doing some little custom that's not beneficial, but you just do it. You done said the same lie over and over again, sir, and you just keep talking in circles. You
Well, sorry if I'm talking. I mean, you're asking me like the same question.
know, I
Even
said something, and I want you to elaborate on it. And because you knew you told a lie, you're running from your own rhetoric. You're using rhetoric, sir. You said there's an ideology. What's the ideology of a lineage? We are a lineage. Foundational Black American refers to a lineage. You don't have followers for your lineage. You keep saying you're followers. I don't have followers. Nobody said that.
like I was saying, like a lot of
I
whites,
lied and said somebody name dropped me. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Nobody's going to name drop me while they're
a lot of white supremacists will also claim that their arguments are just trying to carve out like an identity, when in reality their actual rhetoric is going in a more nationalist direction.
because that's
So,
they feel like they are in a supreme position and they feel like they should dominate everybody. That's an ideology. I don't feel like that at all. And no matter what I feel or think, my lineage doesn't change. You understand that? Doesn't change.
yeah, white supremacists also like to talk about their lineage too. That's kind of what I was saying. Um,
Really?
in fact,
Not really.
a lot of what you say doesn't acknowledge what's currently happening in this country is another thing that I wanted to bring up.
Slow down.
Like there's like a white supremacist.
Slow down. They don't really talk about their lineage like that. In fact, the white supremacists kind of hide their lineage. They don't like talking about Europe. Yeah, they don't like talking about that. They don't really go about their lineage is crappy.
That's true. They do disregard Europe. That's very true.
Right.
But like what they'll do is they'll claim that they'll also claim that they're like Native Americans. When in reality their ancestors hail from a different continent.
Right. $5
Um,
or $5 Indians. Right. Right. But
I don't know what that means, but
they're
but long story short, I just want to emphasize my love for the Black community. I do acknowledge there is a difference between my.
no, you don't. No, don't do that. Because you're being passive aggressive. You don't have love for the Black community because you sat here and you said some falsehoods, and then you just start babbling in circles. That's a very passive aggressive thing.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I don't think you're a good representative of the Black community. I don't think you represent the Black community. I think the Black community is more expansive,
I don't
diverse, and
represent. I don't. I'm not the spokesperson for anybody. I never said I was. Who said I was somebody's leader or representative? Who said that?
well, yeah, this is another thing I think is
Down. You just said I'm not a good representative. Who said I was a representative? I didn't. I've
I mean, you literally are if you have like a big enough following.
okay, which one is it? You said I'm not a good one, but I really am. Listen, do you hear yourself? I want you to listen to yourself. You're arguing about me being the representative that I said I'm not, but you've created a representative in your mind, and you're mad at the representative in your mind for not representing like you want them to represent. So you're mad at your own imagination, sir. You're trying to chastise me for a fantasy leader that you've created in your mind. I've never said I'm the leader or representative of nobody. I'm not. You've created that in your mind. And you're telling me that your imaginary representative leader is doing a bad job. I can imagine. I can imagine that leader is doing a very bad job, but don't project that onto me because I've never said I'm anybody's leader. Hmm?
Well, you can identify a certain way, but you could also functionally be a different way. It's like you might not personally feel like a leader, but you
I'm
you actually are some kind of leader. Clearly, if you're having this big enough influence on political discourse online, um,
that's
yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, you might not feel like one, but you technically are
mm,
if you can get this many people together and you can have them repeat.
I got a good personality that people like to listen to. I'm a very honest person. So people just like to listen to honesty. Just because I'm honest and people like to listen to my honesty, I'm not a designated leader. Plus, you can't be a leader of a lineage. You see? How can you be the leader of a lineage?
I mean, but I mean, again, like you can feel a certain way, but you can actually be a different way. If I don't know why you're denying it. Like you are some kind of thought leader online. I don't know what else to add here. But on a different point,
I'm
like
denying you can't. It's logic. I'm a logic person. By logic, I can't be the leader of 43 million people. That don't make no sense. How am I the leader of 43 million people? And you can't even explain it. That's why you're kind of stumbling and stammering. I'm not stumbling, stammering, sir. You're saying
I'm stumbling because um you're kind of like splitting hairs on something that I actually completely does not matter. If you personally don't feel like you're a leader, then that's just a delusion that you hold personally. I'm not sure what to say to that, to be
so
honest.
what? This is
So
what delusional because I'm not an imaginary leader. What is that? You're not making sense. I'm delusional because I'm not an imaginary leader of an imaginary group, and I'm delusional because I'm not acknowledging that I'm an imaginary leader that I never claimed to be. I'm not the leader of anything. How's that delusional?
I mean, you're the leader of this you're the leader of this voice call. Do you or this chat room? Do you acknowledge that?
The leader of a chat room?
Yes.
Uh,
Like,
no, sir. You're just saying stuff at this point. That's not the leader of a chat room. I just opened a chat room and people are in here. That's not the leader of a chat room.
yes, you determine you created the room. You determined the general subject of the chat room.
I'm the host.
Like,
Oh, being a host. Yeah, I'm not people's leader.
okay, like,
I get people. There's people in here who disagree with me all the time. Am I their leader?
so I think this strategy is just you generally trying to skirt accountability.
Man, listen to what you're saying, sir. I get people in here all the time who completely disagree with me. Am I their leader?
Of course not, but I mean, like in a general sense, like the people who pair. How about
The same thing with lineage. There's a lot of people who are foundational Black Americans who I don't even like, and they don't like me. But we still have the same lineage. We're still foundational Black Americans. I'm not their leader, right?
I mean, how would you how would you know that you have the same lineage?
We know our lineage. We know our lineage. You can just tell where people are from and where their families.
No, no, like for you, how would you confirm that other people in the room are have the same lineage as you?
If I talk to
They
them,
would just tell you.
I can talk to them and they can let me know. We can talk and they let me know. And usually when people call up, we kind of do a lineage check, or they'll just volunteer. We have somebody who call up, hey, my name is John. By the way, my family's from Mississippi, FBA all the way. My grandmother's from Dallas. So usually people do a lineage check. And also look at social media. A lot of people on social media, many times if they're from certain areas, they'll put up a flag. They have a Caribbean flag. Some people from your home country, they'll have Nigerian flags. A lot of foundational Black Americans will have American flags in their bios. So there's little signs to let people know where they're from and where their lineage is from. Why does it become a problem when foundational Black Americans do it? Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, first of all, we're still, I think the definition of FBA is still kind of in the nether at the moment.
Who
How would you define this term?
says who?
I mean, like it doesn't have like an objective definition, and this kind of takes me back to my main point, where you're kind of the
Says who? See, we're getting into colonizer talk right now. Foundational Black American has a rock solid definition. The term defines itself. It literally defines itself. It's a logic term, sir.
I mean, you're talking about like a
Yeah, because
colonizer definitions and logic.
colonizers come in and then they try to redefine who people are. You're telling us that our definition of our lineage is in limbo. No, it's not. Our lineage and foundational Black American means one thing and one thing only. So what are you talking about? Huh? Zen? I don't have you muted, sir. Go ahead, Zen. Yeah, foundational Black American, that term defines itself. That term only means one thing. So what are you talking about, sir? Zen,
Hello?
go ahead.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was saying, how would you define it? Because I don't think you've defined it as of yet. At least like I mentioned,
The,
I just heard a few of your voice
the,
talking on TikTok. So
hold on.
I would want to hear from you straight from the dude himself.
the,
What is it?
the term
What does it mean?
the term defines itself. The term is literally self-explanatory. Literally. It can't mean anything else. What do you think it means?
Well, personally, I mean, again, you still haven't given a definition to the word, which I
What
think is kind of suspicious. But
do you think it means?
if I were to, based on what I've heard from you and your followers, which do exist, refers to descent.
Now you're starting to lie, which is another problem. All right? Lying doesn't really help your case, sir, because now
I
that
mean, you can say that I lied when
yeah,
I didn't.
you're just lying now, because I've explained about 7 times there's no followers, there's no leaders. Yet you're trying to redefine our reality, which is what colonizers do. And you're lying. And that's a part of the lying, scamming tether trope that a lot of people want to get away from, sir. That's the problem. That's why people are delineating because of such
Well,
dishonesty from non-FBAs. People are tired of that, right?
well, I also have a problem with lying personally, and especially our current.
Hold on, because you're not naive. It's not that you don't understand. At this point, you don't misunderstand anything. I've clearly explained what's what, yet you still chose to tell the same lie over and over. So now you're engaging in stereotypes, sir. You're being a stereotypical lying, scamming tether. And that, sir, is the reason why foundational Black Americans want to delineate from that. because that's a problem. We don't need that around us. That's been a problem for us. It's almost like a Tourette's that you guys have, where you just lie the hell of it. Almost,
Well, I mean, you keep saying that I'm lying, but you haven't said what I'm lying about. And in
yeah,
fact, I asked for
what do you
like
you've lied several times saying that I'm a leader and there's followers and all that shit. Yeah, you've lied repeatedly. You
well, I would say that's just you being you're just dodging the main point, which you do have like of influence online. You know, it's
yeah, but you
like again, if you're denying that, like I'm not sure what to say to that. To be honest, like that's dishonesty. I can't really
influence and
communicate with. To be
being
honest,
influence and being a leader, that's two different things.
yes,
Influence,
you're the leader of that influence, is what I would say. In
you,
fact, again, like I mentioned, it's super suspicious that you're kind of.
you're saying stuff, sir. It's suspicious. It's not. I'm not going to say it's suspicious that you're lying. It's on brand. It's kind of typical, sir. I'm not. It's not even suspicious. We're used to lying tethers. That's why we've delineated. You.
Well, the delineation coincides with a white supremacy.
Let's go back now about the definition of foundational Black American. Now, what else could it mean besides it being self-explanatory? What else could foundational Black American mean?
Well, first of all, if you say if it's self-explanatory, that's circular. The circular logic. You can't say the definition is the word itself. That's a fallacy. So like
Yes, some terms.
the words we use have to have some kind of definition.
Yes,
So if you're denying that, that's just
some terms are self-explanatory. You understand? Some things are just self-explanatory. If somebody says, "Hey, what's an apple tree?" What does an apple tree mean? Um, is that self-explanatory? If somebody says, "What is an apple tree?" What does that mean? That's pretty self-explanatory. A tree with apples. What's a foundational Black American, Mr. Zen Buddha? You're not naive. That's what I'm saying. You asked me that. You're not naive. It's literally self-explanatory. It's not.
well, for starters, I would say I wouldn't even remotely equate human beings with apples, and I think even within apples, there's diversity, and on top of that, your whole thing
You're playing dumb. What does when you say foundational? What does that mean?
um means it's part of the foundation of another thing.
Right. What's a Black American?
Someone who is black and has American citizenship.
Right. Now you Black, right?
Yes, sir.
You got American citizenship.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between you and I?
I guess mainly geographical. Like I was born in I was born in Orlando, Florida. You were probably born in another state, I'd imagine. Maybe you weren't, but I would say there isn't that much difference between you and I. I mean, like of course, like I mentioned before, if you're descendants of slaves,
Mm-hmm.
then your ancestors went through something that my ancestors did not. So I acknowledge and respect that difference. But in terms of like biologically, I would say that we're more or less the same creature.
Okay. So you respect the lineage, right?
Yeah. If someone's a descendant of slaves, then yes, I respect that difference. That my family was not victim to that system. So yes, I respect that difference.
So if a person's lineage can be traced on paper to the beginning of this country, even before the country was actually created, what does that make them?
That means they're descendants of African slaves.
What's an African slave?
People who were enslaved in the United States or all throughout the Americas. that were African. That's my definition of that term.
Were there slaves in Africa?
To some extent, but they weren't victim to like the chattel slave system, which was notoriously more brutal than most forms of slavery. Um, so yes, they were probably slaves in Africa, but it probably wasn't as brutal and horrific as the slavery that happened in the States. I would say that was the worst form of slavery.
Hmm. So if our lineage and our ancestors were here before the United States was built, and they were the founders of building it, that would make them foundational, right?
Well, I mean, well, for starters, the United States as a colonial project is a white supremacist project. So, um, I don't think aligning yourself with the white supremacist imperialist in fact the primary white supremacist uh, imperialist state in the country and the world um, would be um, ideal. But aside from that, the black people in this country originate from Africa, or like specifically West Africa, largely, but all from all parts of Africa. So, um, while they were part of the founding of this country, um, I w- I would say the
Y'all see this, family? See, this is why they have a problem with foundational. See, we got to slow walk it. Y'all listening, right? I want y'all to really pay attention to this. This is why they have a problem with foundational. I want y'all to feel this and peep this. That's why we got to slow walk it. This all that old lying and talking in circles. We got to break it down and see what the real issue is. They got a problem. That foundational part is that's the part they got a problem with. Because see,
no, there were.
see how he wants to latch on to it. See, he's trying to latch on to the foundational part. See, he was a black American. He's cool. But when it comes to the foundational part, boy, he gets the Joloff babbling. Oh, the foundational part got him babbling. He talking about the African slaves and come on now.
No, I mean,
Zen, were we our my lineage is foundational, right? You're talking about aligning with whites. I don't know what that means. But my lineage, sir, and some of us, our lineage was here before the United States was built. So that makes our lineage foundational, right?
yeah, that's true. There were African slaves in this country before the founding of the country. So, that is true. Like, there were white and there were European and African people in this country before the United States was officially founded. So that is true. Um, but yeah. So,
So there were,
um,
black people here, right?
sure. Yeah.
Why do you seem to have a problem with acknowledging that fact? That's either true or not true, sir. And
Well,
when we look at the census form, it don't say African, it says black, mulatto, or colored.
I mean, they were African people. Like they were African descendants. They were Black African descendants. I don't see what the problem is
Yeah. And the problem
there.
is they weren't calling themselves African for the most part. Yeah, we got African genetics, but yeah, there was an ethnogenesis. There was an ethnogenesis, and we didn't have Africa to depend on. Africa didn't come get us. Africa didn't help us. Africa didn't reach out to us.
Well, when we say someone is African, it's like a colloquial usage of the term. It's not like
Right.
um,
General term that's generic. It's a generic term. Everybody could be African, right?
I mean, no, like if we when we say the term is colloquial, that means that it's the term is useful in like day-to-day speech. So it's not like like if I tell you I saw an African guy, that puts an image in your head, and that gives us a general idea of a type of person that we can both like acknowledge.
Then you're
But
back.
it's not.
Let me get cousin Jerry in here. Cousin Jerry, hop on in, brother. Cousin Jerry. Uh oh. I don't know what happened. Oh, cousin, I get you back on. I don't know what happened. I wanted my relative to get on in here. Let me get the prototype. I want to have the family talk to you. The prototype, hop on in, beloved.
I have a question, Zen Buddha. Are there people who look like us that were indigenous to every other place on this planet?
I guess it depends on what you mean by looking like if like
Were there copper colored and darker people on every part of this globe?
yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah. Like I
So
could probably brush up on my anthropology or history or whatever. But yeah, I'm sure there were darker skinned people on
well
every continent.
if there was somebody on every single continent, what makes you think that we were not already here?
I mean, like just because there were darker skinned people on a continent, that doesn't necessarily mean those people were African, right?
But but why do y'all insist on calling us African if we were already here?
Again, this would take you back to what I was saying, where the term is colloquial, where it
We
just
don't care about that colloquial bullshit. I'll cut the bullshit. I'm done with that. I've been listening to you talk and just ramble on for like 50 million years. Let's get to the topic at hand. Most of you Africans in those 54 countries don't even refer to yourselves as African. You refer to yourselves by country. So if that's the case and we were already here, that means we were the foundation on which this country was built. There were things that were already here. And then when they decided to land Plymouth Rock right on our back, guess what? They brought gunpowder.
sorry, did someone just fart? I'm not trying to change
No,
the
No,
I
subject,
sneezed.
but
I'm
like,
sorry.
no,
oh,
no,
okay.
no. Because guess what? This country didn't start when white people arrived. We were already here. Do you know what it was called?
Well, the Europeans like thought it was India or something.
I'm not. You see, that's the problem. You got a European colonizer mindset.
Oh no,
What do we
I fully
call it?
acknowledge. I'm not sure what it was referred to beforehand. Like from the perspective of the natives, if it was from the perspective of like the Native Americans, I'm not sure what they referred to the continent as, to be honest.
Okay, well, are you aware that we were American Indian on the census before the Dawes Rolls and all that stuff?
On the census, which on the Americans? Are you talking about like the United States census?
We were already American Indian. We've been reclassified so many times. Do you know anything about Walter Plecker?
Nope, I don't know what that is, honestly.
Okay, so that means everything that you've been talking, including talking in the post on July 25th, saying that Tariq was CIA posting and all that stuff on your about Palestine, which is mostly what your page is about.
Mm.
We don't care about. We're the only concerned with us. We're only concerned with us. And next time, if you don't have your facts together, shut the hell up. Thank you.
Good, good morning, Tariq, and everybody
Hey,
in the
how are you?
space.
Go ahead.
Hello. What's up, Love? I am. It's my sister as well. I just had a couple questions. So I heard him bring up the Native Americans. Now, Zambuda, where did the Native Americans come from that you
um,
know of? The Native Americans that you're aware of, where did they come from?
this is something I'll admit I could probably brush up on in terms of anthropology and history, but I imagine like before they're originally again I'll totally admit that I might be wrong on this, but back when maybe like originally from like Central South America. Possibly they migrated from those regions. But again, if I'm wrong on that, I'll just totally admit that I'm
Okay,
not
yeah,
sure.
okay, but have you also heard of the story of the land bridge, the Bering Straits, people coming from that Asiatic region
Oh yes, I
in
did
the
hit.
north?
In fact, I was reading something about that. Like different kinds of bear species also kind of migrated
Right.
along that bridge.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that goes on, a lot of trade routes as well that have been existing for a long time. Okay, so when we speak of those Native Americans, why do you not consider them Asian Americans
I mean,
if that's where they came from, but they're Native American that, I mean, we still pay for them to be here now.
typically when we refer to like an indigenous peoples, at least from what I've read, again, I'll admit I'm not like the God King on this, but typically when we refer to an indigenous native peoples, it's from the perspective of opposition to European colonialism. And from that perspective, the natives in the states are indigenous. So that's why we refer to them as Native Americans. So from that perspective, they are indigenous to this land.
So why do you have a problem
So,
with
oh,
how
go ahead, Tariq, I'm
we
sorry.
are found? Zen?
Oh, sorry, I think you might have cut out there. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, Zen, I was saying, why do you have a problem with acknowledging that we are foundational? Our lineage is foundational to the Americas.
Again, like I mentioned before, I fully respect and acknowledge the contributions like Black people made in this country even before my family came here. It's been global in terms of influence.
See, you're changing the subject. See, he keeps changing the subject. I want y'all to see that. It's killing him to acknowledge that we are foundational. See, that's where they got the problem. He always talks around it. Let me get cousin Jerry and Jerry, hop on in real quick.
No,
Hey,
again, Black people were here from the beginning. So, from that perspective, yes, Black people are foundational to this country. I don't contest that at all. Again,
So
I
is the
acknowledge and I respect that.
terminology just your problem? Is it just the wording of foundational? Like that's my point. I was trying to get to what is your argument here. If you agree and understand all of what Tariq is saying, what is the issue with the terminology of foundational Black American?
So I can sum it up really quickly in 2 points. The first one, the Trump administration is a white supremacist administration. And point two, some of the people who are using this label FBA are parroting the logic and celebrating the Trump administration that is white supremacist. So they'll say that I'm calling ICE on this person or something like that, which is like a neo-Nazi KKK tier white supremacist argument to make
Right,
is
and
what
you're
I'm
going to
saying.
find that in every
right.
demographic of people. So if you go ask Asian Americans, there are going to be some that voted for Trump. There are going to be some that did not. If you go to the Hispanics, there are going to be some that say, "Hey, I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I'm going to vote." But then there's going to be some that are going to say, "Heck no, we're not voting for him because they're trying to deport our families." So you're going to find those people in every demographic. We're not a monolithic group. I'll just land there. I can let someone else
Thank you.
speak. But yeah, thank y'all.
But yet, Zen, does that change our lineage just because there are some foundational Black Americans, 43 million, some are Trump supporters. Does that change our lineage? Zen?
No, no, but I mean, of course not. But again, for starters, especially considering this term has been a skyrocketing in usage, like I'd say within like the past few months.
Year?
I don't think there is enough. I don't think I don't think you've demonstrated that. Um, well, again, I will take it back to the initial argument I made that indicated that you are a thought leader on online political circles. And I don't believe that your influence represents all Black people in the United States, is what I was saying.
Right. I agree with that. I don't. I don't represent all Black people at all. I can't. We agree. So I don't know why you keep saying that. I don't. I've said that. I'm not nobody's lead. I don't represent anybody. Your lineage is your lineage, no matter what. Listen, if I get abducted by an alien tomorrow, they take me. Planet Musty, where the rest of your family is. Jokes. I'm fucking with you. It's part of the culture. I'm still, my lineage is not going to change, and everybody else's lineage is not going to change. It's going to be the same thing. Cousin Jerry, hop on in.
Hey Flex, how you doing this
I'm
morning?
good, brother.
I want to change gears just a little bit with this guy. I want to talk about that lying spirit that seems to be like ingrained in them.
Yeah.
It's almost a demonic thing. This is kind of making me wonder: is this the same thing that they did to the ancestors that they exiled out of Africa?
Mm.
Is this the same lying spirit? Is this the same energy? Because everybody know, even you, Zen Buddha, know that Tariq is not a leader. Even you you having trouble with the same line. It's like it's stuck in your tongue. Our grandma warned us about a lying spirit.
Mm-hmm.
A lying spirit leads to a dark heart. And what's happening is right now, I don't mean to get all spiritual this early in the morning, but your darkness is showing toward us, and you want us to ally with your darkness, and you keep talking about parity. Have you ever met a KKK member? I'm from Alabama. I know card carrying members of KKK. Our ideology and theirs does not line up. That trying to make us nationalists because we're from this land, because we have no immigrants in our family. There are no immigrants in mine Tariq family.
Mm-hmm.
We are from this land, and your lying tongue was so thick, you couldn't even say the word foundational. See, I'm getting ready to land. I'm gonna get off of this. See, this is the issue. That lying spirit is destructive. It's corrosive. It does nothing but tear down. We cannot partner with that. We even go back to the 90s. We found out when we were trying to be on the Pan African that y'all were on something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So young man, you seem to be an intelligent person. You seem to read a few articles and be in the space. I'm gonna ask you to get that lying spirit away from you. See, we asking y'all to come over and embrace this Majara spirit. That Majara spirit is a spirit of truth. That Majara spirit, it'll cleanse you of that nastiness and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So come over and let that mess go, young man. Appreciate you for letting me up,
There
Tariq.
you go, brother. Thank you so much.
Well, well, I want to say I'm sorry if I'm coming off that way. I want to say like if anything, um, um, well, I want to. I know it's just my word. It might not mean much to everyone here, but I fully believe everything I'm saying. Maybe I'm not delivering it in the best way, but I want to say that I have no intention of deceiving anyone. I want to be. In fact, I came here to put my entire heart on the table, because I kind of saw something.
Leave everything.
I saw something bad on
Slow down.
in terms of people who
Slow
are
down.
in these types of chat.
Slow down. You said you believe everything you said. Did you tweet that I was the CIA or something?
Possibly. I'm not, again, I'm not trying to be deceitful or anything. I may have tweeted something like that,
Believe that?
but yeah, I do think what you do is in line with what the CIA wants, because especially considering they're trying to push a white supremacist ideology, which is
Okay.
so far being very successful in the country, especially through ICE, government institutions like ICE, and people who listen to you a lot tend to be pro ICE for some reason. That's the main reason why I came to that
That
conclusion.
CIA.
Like
Slow down. Slow down. Because when you're talking and just keep talking, that means you don't really believe what you're saying. So you think I'm the CIA?
not, I mean, of course, I don't have any evidence of that, but your rhetoric goes in that direction, I guess, is
This,
what I'm saying.
our rhetoric is the CIA.
Yeah, right now the CIA would probably be interested in protecting and propagandizing on behalf of the Trump administration, which includes demonizing immigrants and like
Why
other
would
communities of people that are targeted by ICE.
CIA? Why
Um,
would the CIA need to demonize you?
well, not me in particular, but
I'm a,
I would say even descendants, black people who are descendants of slaves, also are
Okay,
targeted by this white supremacist organization. So division is something, or division, or I guess delineation, is something.
God damn, slow down. Slow down, Zen. Just when you keep talking, that means you know you don't believe what you're saying. You're just trying to talk your way through it. You're trying to babble your way through it. What would the CIA mission be? What do you have going on in Africa that would need the CIA to intervene?
Well, for starters, I want to say this is the first voice call I've been in on this app, so this is totally new to me.
Like,
So if I'm like stumbling or
yeah,
I'm being bad
yeah,
at
yeah.
enunciating my arguments,
We're saying,
I
slow
apologize.
down, because what you do, you'll lie, and then when somebody holds you on that lie, you just start babbling. Let you talk to my homegirl, Love I Am. You want to meet? Let me introduce you to Love I Am. She wants to talk to you. Love, this is Zen Buddha. Go ahead, Love.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And please let me I had something that I initially came up to address, but I also want to address the point of the CIA. So please let me do
Oh,
both.
good. The floor is yours, beloved.
Okay, thanks. So, first of all, he was saying that the term African is a colloquial term, and that is not accurate. That term is a misnomer, and it's actually being erroneously applied to the original humans. Okay, all original humans were melanated, and we are the original inhabitants of every continent. That means that the other groups come from us. So we were here already. You said you wanted to acknowledge that there were some Africans in America prior to slavery, and I wanted to inform you, because it doesn't seem like you know, that the term Africa was not even applied to the entire continent until the 17th century. So if you consider the US corporation and you even want to make the argument that there were Africans here, then that's already a flawed logic, because there's no evidence that the dark race that was here were in fact Africans. And with the term being a misnomer, you're likely reclassifying a group, which in this case you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just going to
For the
check
most
in with
part,
you. Okay, I just want to check in with
for
you. I'm not asking any questions, and I'm going to make my point because I just want to disprove you. You said it's colloquial. I'm saying it's a misnomer, and that it is being erroneously applied to the original human. So that's my refute to your point. The point about saying there were Africans here, I wanted to point out that that is not documented. There's no documentation that backs that. The first uh importation of people coming from the African continent was in the 1800s. Okay, so that is not supported by any documentation. When you're talking about Tariq being a leader, what he's done is actually just organize members of his own ethnic group. When you're talking about delineation being a CIA um, type of thing, actually, delineation is the only way for individuals who are of the same race classification to be able to gauge where there are any disparities in the experience. So we need to delineate in order to know how our ethnic group is doing against all other ethnic groups that fall under the same racial construct. Tariq has organized, galvanized his people. We are his people. That's why we have a lot of the same character quality and attribute, and that's what you're observing. But as far as a leader, he can't be a leader of a lineage. That does not make sense. That's what he's trying to point out to you. That's a flawed logic. As far as the CIA, you said you think it would be of interest for the CIA to be anti-immigration and support Trump. Well, I want to inform you that the history of America, the CIA actually had a COINTELPRO operation where they infiltrated Negro organizations here in America because they were concerned with the Black Messiah arising out of our lineage that would unify other dark races. With that being said, they acknowledge that we are not a homogenous group with Africans, number one. Number two, because they were concerned with and wanted to gauge the consciousness of Negroes in America, they actually viewed it as an effective strategy to vet melanated immigrants and bring them into the country, where these immigrants would then take a verbal contract where they would renounce their country of origin, which is what your parents did. Then they had you, and they obviously raised you with a level of ignorance towards everything that I'm speaking on, and have allowed you to effectively evade the reality of your home country, in which case now you're here having a conversation with us where you are putting out misinformation and a historical fact. So that's where we're at in the conversation. And so if someone like myself, who is well educated, who is educated on the anthropological fact of dark races being on every inhabitable landmass prior to colonization, and us never being identified as a homogenous group, and you know that that's your only frame of reference as a Nigerian with a tribe, then I would say that me viewing you and your thought processes as a liability is actually not in congruence with white supremacy. White supremacy actually wants us all to be erroneously identified under this social construct of Black, and have you say things to us like you don't see much difference in who we are compared to who you are. See, that's all white supremacy ideological framework. And we actually are trying to expunge that out of our collective through delineation. And we're trying to take autonomy over our identity so that we don't have people calling us erroneously African when we know that we have a significant portion of our population that was already here prior to any of the other groups that arrived subsequently. Thanks, Tariq, for letting me speak.
There you go. Thank you so much, beloved. All right. Zen, you still here with us, bro?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Let me get my brother Dan in. Hop on in.
Yeah, it was good, Flex. How you holding up,
All right,
brother?
good, brother. Here's Zen.
Yeah, I've been listening to him, man. I don't typically like to come up twice, but come on, Zen. Now you from Nigeria, correct?
I've been there twice, but I was born in the States, and
No,
but
I
my
know that
parents are from
part, but
Nigeria.
your grandfather's Nigerian, right?
Yes, my parents migrated from Nigeria.
I understand. What tribe you guys from?
Yoruba.
Gotcha. So what's the difference between the Yoruba and the Igbo? Is there like a big difference?
Uh, um, Igbo tends to be more like Igbo tends to be more like Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Yoruba tends to be more on the Christian side. So I grew up Protestant. But
Yeah, but you would agree there's a difference between the two groups, correct?
yeah.
Gotcha. And both groups lived in the Nigerian region for like centuries, right?
Yep.
Gotcha. So if you can acknowledge that there's a pretty big a difference between those two, and they grew up right next to each other. When you look at Black Americans who grew up on a whole nother landmass for over 300 plus years, you can see why we say that there's a difference between us, correct?
Yeah, in fact, I fully acknowledge that. I can't imagine the full scope of the pain and the suffering
Well, it's not even just
descendants
the
of slaves gone
it's
through
not
here
even
in the States. So
wait, hold on, calm down, calm
I
down.
acknowledge that.
Yo. It's not even just the pain and the suffering. We're just talking about differences. I mean, but you understand that every one of these African groups or Caribbean groups or even the European groups, anytime people from your culture or other groups around the country, world, anytime they win something, they make sure to elaborate on where they're from. Just in the NBA Finals, the guy, shout out to him, he was waving the Haitian flag. I had no clue he was Haitian until they won. And he was like, "Oh, I'm Haitian." Shout out to Haiti, I guess. But you do realize that when those groups do that, that's a form of delineation. You know that, right?
Well, I can speak from my personal experience. If I
No,
were to
no, I'm
win,
not talking
or
about that. I'm saying just stick to what I'm asking you. I'm asking you. You understand it's a form of delineation, right? I'm talking about what the guy did with the Haitian flag.
like just because they're waving a Haitian flag, that doesn't mean they reject. If
No.
they
That's not what I'm
evangelize,
saying. I'm saying I'm letting you know that's a form of delineation. You know that, right?
I don't think. I don't think waving a flag necessarily
No, that's not what I'm
commands that much of a
saying. That's
statement.
not what I
So,
said. You missing what I'm telling you. I'll say it again, right? The guy, as soon as they won the NBA championship, he was proud to let everybody know he was Haitian. I'm not saying he wasn't proud before that, but I'm just telling you. He was like, hey, I'm Haitian, by the way. That's separating himself from black Americans. There's no problem with that. I don't take issue with it. In fact, I applauded that somebody from Haiti was able to win a championship. But you do understand that's a form of delineation.
and just so we're on the same page, what's your
No,
definition of
yes, that's a
delineation?
yes or no question. You do understand that, right?
I mean, we should agree on the definition first, right?
You understand it's a form of delineation, right?
Do you believe that waving a flag is a form of delineation?
I believe, I believe anytime you make it a point to say, hey, I'm from this place, not that place, that is delineation. It doesn't have to be a negative thing.
Do you believe waving a flag indicates that the person is saying
I
that they're?
literally just told you if he's saying, hey, I'm from this place, not that place, that's delineation.
I mean, in that case, they wouldn't be saying that they're not from somewhere else, right? They're just holding a flag, right?
He said he's not from America, he's from Haiti. That's delineation, sir. Literally the definition.
Like initially you said that he waved a flag. You didn't mention that he said he is from somewhere else. So is your
You ever
definition of
walk and chew gum at the
delineation
same
that?
time?
Sorry?
You ever walk and chew gum at the same time?
I think I have a few times in my life.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go. What are you talking about? Like, all right, what'd you say your grandfather was? You say he was
um.
like Yoruba or something like that?
Oh well, yeah. My family is hails from the Yoruba
Okay,
tribe.
gotcha. Yeah, would your grandfather be okay with somebody calling him Igbo?
To be honest, I've never met him before, so I'm not entirely sure. Um,
But
I
you
couldn't
do
say.
understand they take offense when people call them the wrong tribe, right?
Um, uh, I guess, sure. Like,
Gotcha. So the thing is, I'm not upset that anybody would delineate themselves. I actually think it's actually something they're supposed to, if you ask me. But what I'm telling you is, them saying that is a form of delineation. Like, I don't understand why you're trying to tap dance around that question.
I mean, I just asked what the definition of delineation is.
You
Is it when
literally
you're
been
holding a
talking
flag,
about it. It's
or?
the first thing you brought up when you got on stage. You started talking about delineation as a form of white supremacy. You said that earlier in the broadcast. So you didn't know what you were talking about then?
Well, I acknowledge that delineation is a form of division.
Okay, so what are you acknowledging then? What is this delineation that you're acknowledging then?
That the person invoking the term is trying to draw a line somewhere, but I
No,
just
no,
don't
no,
know
no. What
where
is
that
the
is.
term though? What is the term? Because you acting like you don't know what it means after using it several times. So what do you think delineation is? The term,
Well,
not its effects. The term.
well, I asked you first what the term
No,
is.
you've been using it, so I assumed you knew what it meant.
Well, I used it because I heard it from Tariq's
So you don't know what
followers.
delineation
So,
is.
in fact, that's why I called in today. I'm trying to get to the bottom of these terms. Well,
Okay,
that's part of the reason,
delineation is literally saying we have separate bloodlines. That's all, and you agree with that.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said just now.
It's saying we have separate lineages. That's all, and you agree to it.
Sure, yeah,
Gotcha. So that's delineation. It's not a bad thing. It's just the truth. So
okay.
again, everybody around the diaspora actively practices delineation. Now we're saying, you know what, you guys are right. We aren't the same people. We have different lineages. And so now that we're talking about our lineage, which is foundational Black American, it's whatever niggas call themselves these days, because we do have the right to self-identify. When we say, you're right, we're not you, you're not us, it's not an insult. It's just a matter of fact. Just like you're not Igbo, or I forgot the tribe you're from, but you're from your specific tribe. It's in Nigeria. You wouldn't consider yourself Ugandan. You wouldn't consider yourself Zimbabwean or South African or Mozambique, right? You're from Nigeria, specifically a tribe, and your parents immigrated to the United States. That does not change your lineage. So for you to say, no, I'm Nigerian, that is a form of delineation. You know that, right?
Well, people having different ethnic backgrounds is nothing new. So
Exactly. So we agree with you. So you agree with us. Delineation is nothing wrong. And then what's more important about delineation is this, right? People not from our lineage don't necessarily respect our lineage. And you can say you're one of those people who do. However, we've seen it with politicians who say they don't support reparations because their mother wouldn't get it. Or we've seen people say we should forget about slavery, or people say, oh, it should be no Black History Month. These are people who look like us, who don't share our lineage, who are actively trying to undermine the progress we've made in this country. Ironically, that allowed them to be over here. So, yes, we have a right to go to our government and say, hey, these voices don't speak for us. We speak for ourselves. That's all this is about. Because when you let people who aren't your own speak for you, they're going to put their agendas and their people's agendas above yours. As somebody from Africa, you can understand that. When you looked at Nigeria, you saw the SARS movement. That didn't benefit Nigerians. That benefited the people who were in charge at the time. And they used that to undermine Nigerian infrastructure, strike all type of crazy deals with China that put you guys in a bad situation because people who weren't your own were making the decisions. Can you understand that part of it?
sure, yeah. I mean, as far as I know, most of the instability originated from European colonialism,
There you
rather
go.
than. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that.
And also being an
The,
American-born citizen, I'm assuming you were educated in American schools, right?
right.
You know one of the requirements to run for president in America is
Oh,
you have to be born on this soil.
right.
And the reason why they do that is because a foreign-born president will likely have allegiance to the country they were born in, not ours.
Yeah, I mean, like, if again, like I mentioned, these designations have always existed. Like, if someone identifies as
You mentioned what?
uh, I was just saying, like if someone like I personally, I identify as a descendant of um, immigrants from Nigeria, and someone like you, I'm assuming, identifies as someone who is descendant of slaves. Sorry if I'm speaking out of turn there, but these terms have always existed.
No, I'm foundational Black
So
American. My ancestry goes back to my ancestry goes back to this country. I got my bloodline has been in this country for a very long time. As far as I was back, I was traced like 1700 something. So yeah, I'm a foundational Black American. Shout out to me.
okay, I see. So so at this point,
Yeah,
my
so I also want to ask you about the CIA line. You said you do realize one of the tactics that the CIA used to do is when they infiltrated the Black Panthers was to kind of put that jacket on people it didn't belong to.
try to put what? I didn't hear what you said there.
You there?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So you do realize the CIA agents used to call other people CIA agents, and the feds used to accuse other people of being feds as a tactic to cause division. So when you put that jacket on somebody with absolutely no proof, that's a Fed thing to do. You get that right?
Well, in the states, at least, most of the divide and conquer strategies that the government used was mostly on the basis of ethnic identity. Um, in fact, um, that was as far as I know,
So
at
you
least,
real quick. So you don't find it ironic that a son of Nigerian immigrants is trying to put a jacket on a foundational Black American man?
well, an individual
That's
person,
literally what you just did.
I don't mind implicating. But I mean, as far as like a broader ethnic group, of course not. That's more his territory. He's been vilifying different groups of immigrants on behalf. I mean, I guess like
Vilifying?
practically on behalf, but I mean, yeah, I
You
mean
go. You don't know that.
that's
Listen.
what he's been doing, right? Like,
Are
am I
you
wrong
familiar?
about
Wait.
that?
Are you familiar with? Are you familiar with Byron Donalds?
I'm not. No.
Okay. See, he's a politician out in Florida. He's from New York. He's Jamaican or something like that. But he was asked about reparations, and he said he wouldn't support it because his mom wouldn't get it. Now, you do realize he's in the House of Representatives, right? They vote on this type of stuff. Congress has the purse. So if the call ever comes, or when the call comes, and he's around, he'll be one of the votes. And if he votes no, that's a big deal. You understand this severity of it, right?
Um, sorry. Well, what does this have to do
No,
with
I'm
what we were
just
talking
telling
about?
you how this is fourth grade social studies. This is how civics works. So you have people who are elected to represent a certain part of the population based on the regions. And he was elected to represent a certain part of the population based on the region he lives in. He now has a vote when it comes to government. It's called the House of Representatives, and he makes votes. It has to pass yay or nay. And if a bill comes up that he doesn't support, he votes nay. But all those votes count because you have majority and minority votes. You understand that?
Okay.
Gotcha. So if there's a person in there who pretends to be us when it benefits him and he wants to speak on our issues, but then says he doesn't support things like solving the injustice that was done to our people, that makes it a problem. And the reason why he doesn't have that same connection to us is because, like yourself, his family is not from this land. So they don't have a connection to our struggle, which is the reason why we're delineating, because too many people who don't have a connection to our struggle and the things we went through in this country feel like they have the right to speak for us, and they're typically choosing the sides of the Europeans. So all we're saying is, you know what, we are different. You're different, we different. See, back, I don't know, you've had your Twitter since, was this 2014? Now, I know you remember a time on Twitter when there were a lot of flags everywhere. People had all type of flags. Wherever country they was from, they had their flags. You don't see those flags anymore because people start to realize, oh shit, if I got these flags in my bio or on my name, then I should be entering certain conversations. So
So
delineation isn't
I'm not.
something we started. It's something that we just agreeing with. And then and just because I'm about to go, I'm going to have to get ready for work. Um, There's literally a article from 1925 of our ancestors telling us to beware of this whole African situation because they said that we should focus on being about America first before we take good times across the seas. In other words, they were saying, yeah, watch these people because you guys have your own interest and your interests don't. If your interests don't align with ours, they have no problem selling us out. This is historically speaking. It's not even me being biased.
I mean, I would say we all have a collective interest in that we all want to live like a life of dignity. Um, of course, again, like the black community in the States has been like put in the worst possible position in comparison to everyone else. So
No,
there would have to
that
be more
whoa,
done
whoa,
there.
whoa,
But
that's not whoa,
uh,
we're not doing the sympathy thing, bro. I just want you to understand that the idea of delineation is not one that we brought about. It's something you guys did, and we just agree with you. That's all that's going on here.
well, I'm not familiar with the politician you were talking about, but
His name is Byron
well,
Donalds.
Byron Donalds. Okay. Well, I personally consider both the Democratic and the Republican parties as being part of a broader white supremacist institution. Um, I'm sure he works for one of those parties. So
But
in
you see how
that
it
case,
doesn't matter
he's
which
more
party he
acting
works
on
for.
behalf. I mean, they're like on your based on your definition of foundational Black American, there should be some FBA Black people um, working for like the Republican Party, right? So like they're directly working for a white supremacist institution in that case, right? So
Listen. Here's where you guys get mixed up at. We don't give a damn about either one of those parties. It's not necessarily about them. It's what can they do for us. That's the thing. And when you look at the parties, you look at what they're going to do, what benefits us and what don't. That's how everybody should cast their vote. It's not based on what party they belong to. It's about what are they going to do to benefit us. That's it. That's literally the whole point of this election thing.
well, I think that's where the biggest issue is because I don't believe our current institutions, since they're white supremacists, I don't believe they will ever act on behalf of historically marginalized communities.
Well, they actually have
So
several times before. They did it And this very administration are acting on behalf of our interests right now.
I
Deportation,
mean,
deportation is a benefit to Black Americans, so it definitely works in our favor.
well, for starters, I would say that's definitely not true.
This is definitely
The
true.
deportations are on behalf of a white supremacist institution. A lot of racist white people in the country voted for Trump, and
Makes me no
the
difference. Listen, I don't really care. Look, the problem is so bad that even look, listen, as a tax-paying citizen of this country, I can look at my government and say, hey, you guys let in way too many illegals. Matter of fact, you should get rid of all the illegals. They shouldn't be here. If I, as a tax-paying citizen, makes the same observation as a European tax-paying citizen, then we can both look at the government and say, yeah, the government. That does not mean we agree with everything that they're doing or everything that they're saying. It's just we all acknowledge this is a problem. So they're solving a problem that we all universally acknowledge.
No, I don't believe immigrants being in the country is as problematic as
Of
white
course you don't,
supremacist
because you're okay.
You're not gonna think
Of
as
course
white
you
as
don't,
whites.
because you're
yeah,
immigrants. What are you talking about?
you're not gonna think that. You benefit from it.
Well, I mean, the deportations are on behalf of like billionaire like white pedophile guys. So
Listen, listen,
I would
listen,
say like
listen. Look, you're trying to. All right, they shouldn't be here. First off, they're breaking the law. Now, if we break the law, we go to jail. We're looking at it as okay. Not only are they breaking the law, we'll talk about other things to do. The insurance is shooting through the roof because of them being here. There's a lot of stuff. Healthcare is going up because they're here. Yeah, a lot of things are happening because of them being here. So then they need to leave. They're here
I mean,
legally.
all these
That's
are
not white
sorry
supremacy.
sorry to enter. Just to chime in here, all these arguments you're making, you're accepting the framing and the overall logic of our institutions that have failed everyone in the country that are acting on behalf of a white billionaire guy who
He's
is like a serial pedophile.
white built.
So I just don't accept their framing. I don't accept their
Well, you
definition of
don't have to.
illegal because
The thing
clearly,
about this is, the beautiful part. You don't have to. You know why you don't have to? Because you just got here. You're a Johnny come lately, right? We've been here for generations, and the generational people are saying it's a problem. Now, of course, you don't see this as this because I don't know if your parents immigrated here legally or not, but you're here, right? So while you're here, that we're doing things this way. The vast majority voted for Trump. Black Americans support deportations because you know what? The first jobs they come for is ours. As a matter of fact, in your homeland, Nigeria, I want to say in the 80s, the Ghanaians came over there. And then they was like, oh, the Ghanaians got to go. Nigeria deported a lot of the Ghanaian people. And right now, as we speak, Ghana is deporting Nigerians back to Nigeria. And I don't hear anybody saying a word about it. So yes, deportation is a thing, and guess what? It needs to be done. So
well,
I have
we're talking
no
about the
problem with ICE scooping up people who are not supposed to be here.
okay,
It's
same as
ridiculous.
the
We have
KKK.
laws.
The KKK completely agrees with you. So,
Yeah, the
like
KKK also eat food.
me personally,
The
I
KKK
oppose
also
the
eat food and
framing
drink
of.
water. Do we not supposed to do that either?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said there.
I said they also eat food and drink water. We not supposed to do that either.
I mean, like drinking water is a far cry from taking people into concentration camps,
No,
but
no, 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 no. Drinking water and obeying the law are two things you should do as an American citizen. So if they're breaking the law, they should be punished. Because if you break the law as an American citizen, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get punished for that. So you saying we should let people break the law and do whatever they want to do?
I mean, like chattel slavery abolitionists were
We're
breaking
not
the law
talking
as
about that.
well.
We're
So
not talking about that. We're literally
yeah,
talking
but you
about
can
the laws in
accept
this country.
but you acknowledge that sometimes the law isn't like on point, right?
Listen, listen, listen. At the end of the day, illegally breaking into a country, taking its resources, that's a
The only
false
people, I
equivalence.
mean,
And
the
see, and
resources are going towards the white
again,
pedophile billionaire guys with
this is why
mega
we have to delineate for you
corporations.
guys because you guys will literally equate a grave injustice done to us by our country to immigrants stealing and leeching off the goddamn system. This is ridiculous, bro. Like I have no problem with immigrants who come over the right way, but however, we are a nation of laws, and if we don't obey the laws, everything
I mean,
falls
are
apart.
we a late nation of laws? I mean, the guy in the presidency right now is a
Well,
white pedophile
tell you what.
billionaire.
What I want
So
you to do is,
I personally don't think that we're like
I
in
want you to
favor
go
of
break the
laws or
law.
anything like that.
I want you to go up, and I want you to break as many laws as you can today, and see how much of a nation of laws we actually are.
I just don't accept the legal system of white pedophile
Okay, we'll
billionaires.
go break the law
But
then. We'll go break the law. You don't have to talk to us. Go break the law. Let me know how that work out for you. See, saying something 1,000 times ain't the same as living it once. I want you to go out there and break as many federal laws since you disagree with them. Let me know how that work out for you. They got JPay where you at, right? We'll send you a letter.
Okay, no, okay, sure.
All right, yeah. So just family, just remember, people like this, they love to try to throw our history in our face. Nigga, that doesn't do anything for us, bro. At the end of the day, they're breaking the law. We pay taxes. They're making our insurance rate go a little higher, way higher to be exact. They're wrecking cars. They're not being jailed. So yeah,
I
they
mean,
have to go.
to be again, I'm not trying to again, I want to emphasize, I'm not trying
Here we
to
go.
take the
Here we
place of
go.
Complaining.
oh, I mean, I'm just trying to
There you go. He trying
I'm
to
just
find
just
something.
trying to I'm just
He's
trying to
looking
frame
for a
what I'm saying.
deflection button. You
No,
got
no,
it.
no, not at all. In fact, what I was trying to say is like my family's kind of my family's broke. My family's not doing that well by any stretch of the imagination, but most of the resources in this country are being hoarded by
Oh, here you go. See,
white billionaires. Since they have the institutional pull, they have like the lobbying groups, they have the presidential influence. They have the money to hoard resources. So it's mainly these corporations buying up all the houses. They're hoarding all of our energy resources and whatnot. In fact, their wealth is surging. It's something that we can all look at
But here's the
on the internet at the moment.
but
So
here's the
I just don't think that the African braiding store personally is the reason why this country is like crashing at the moment. I think it would be like people like Donald Trump who've been exposed for being a serial billionaire pedophiles and skirting the law because they can lean on their white privilege to get away with these
that
things. I personally don't think that the
okay,
African
stop. Because you're saying the same thing. You're using some of these Democrat shield talking points, and that's kind of patronizing. It's like you kind of think we're dumb. You don't do that because the message it sends is that we're dumb, and you say these little buzzwords, and we're supposed to get riled up. Y'all got to stop doing that. It's very patronizing when you do that. You start
You're right. Sorry, I was kind of rambling there.
that's like
I was kind of circling myself. So
right,
yeah, I apologize for that.
very patronizing.
I got emotional. I got emotional there. I'm just frustrated with the current presidential administration. So
But
that's my focus area personally. I understand. Not everyone sees it that way.
right, but the thing is, if I were to go over to Nigeria and just kind of bogart my way in, and then start trying to take the little resources that's over there, how do you think they're going to react? Hmm?
Um, I mean, that's kind of already happening under, like Western like colonial influences, right? Like Western corporations. Africa has like a large, and again, I'm kind. It's kind of embarrassing because I'm kind of ignorant of my own country to be
Those are
honest.
whites and Asians going in there doing that, but I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me going over and over there. Because when white folks go over there, y'all get to dancing and singing. I'm talking when we go over there, y'all be like, okay, nigga, where's your bank account? You want to know about the Klan? You keep talking about us not wanting immigration is like the Klan. The Klan is we go over there to visit and we get shook down at the goddamn airport in Nigeria. We get our phones stolen. You want to know what the Klan is? We get over there and get finessed left and right the minute we get off the plane over there. That's the Klan. So yeah, you don't want to do that, sir. You really don't want to do that.
I think I fully acknowledge, especially with all I can say this about my parents. They were really hardworking, but I do think they had somewhat of an ego. Um, like I don't know. This is just my
Hi,
my perception of their behavior.
FBA.
I acknowledge that certain groups of immigrants can look down on Black Africans, especially if they move to the United States. They might
Parent.
tend to side toward with white supremacists because they want to they acknowledge that they're moving into a white supremacist country. So a lot of immigrant groups will will try to lean in that direction to get like extra benefits, which I do agree is a problem even in African immigrant
Right,
communities.
right. And then when the white supremacists turn on your ass, y'all start looking to us, and it's like, you're my brother. We are brother. It's like
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, you're funny, dude.
that,
But
that's the
like I mean, well, I know it might not sound like much coming from me being um the focus of like I know like my identity is offensive to you, but
not a
I it's just my word, but I can say that I have uh I have no ill I find white supremacists disgusting. And it's been on my mind a lot lately. Like I think they're really pathetic, cowardly people. And
and
that's
lying is cowardly too. You don't, because you take on the same characteristics. All your lying and babbling, because you've told a lot of lies. You've been very passive aggressive. You saying a few nice words and then slipping in some passive aggressive lies and all that shit. And then we're seeing some of that CIA shit. It's real weird. And yeah, you don't get away with that by just saying a couple of little nice words. We play pat.
well, no, I stand on everything I
Well,
said, you know, like
not really. You don't. Not really, but we just had to get some straightening, and we had to do a case study here. And
no, like in fact, like most of what I
thank you. I'm gonna let you, because you just babble until the end of time. But thank you. I let him off. All right, because we're wrapping it up, because he's one of them babblers. You got to watch out for that. You see how deceptive this dude was, deceptive, which was good. That's why we let him go on. I let Love get a piece of it. I let Brother Dan get a piece of it. Yeah. I let everybody come up here and get a piece of that, so y'all know how to deal with it. Don't let them talk nice. They'll talk nice. I understand the struggle, guys. I really do. We're all in this together, but you guys are like the Klan. When you don't want immigration, you're like pedophile Trump supporters. Okay, yeah, yeah. You got to watch these little passive aggressive tethers. You got to watch them. That's why we had to slow walk them. Because first, all that lying, usually that lying is a smoke screen. The problem is, that's why I broke him down real slow. I said, okay, you a black American? Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. What's the difference between us? Well, we're born over here, born over there. Okay. What makes us foundational? Then he got to talking about slavery. He started filibustering. He didn't want to acknowledge the foundational part. Do you acknowledge that we black people were here before the founding of this country? We were the founding. Well, there were African slaves. See, there are Africans that, well, many years ago, the Africans, and there was a little flute that was played in Ghana, and there was, no, you start getting into these long ass stories, and no. We're talking about foundational Black Americans here at the beginning of this country, founding this country. I do acknowledge there were some African slaves, African here. So yeah, he had a problem with the word foundational. He finally had to give it up because we broke it down so logically. But see, they have a problem with that foundation. See, they can't latch on to it, family. That's what I'm saying. They have a that the foundational part kicks them in the ass, because we are the only ones who are foundational here. That's the thing that some up. So they got to flip. Oh, you guys are a hate group. Oh, yeah. Because see, they try to come over here and pawn off some Pan Africanism onto us to give the illusion of a shared struggle and a common identity of all people of African descent when it's convenient. So foundational, that introduces a lineage based hierarchy where not all Black people are seen as equal stakeholders in America's justice legacy. So now that hierarchy, that challenges their assumed place in the Black racial hierarchy. See, they're supposed to be above us. You understand? Just like he said, yeah, I want y'all to listen to what he was saying. Yeah, a lot of us immigrants, we tend to be a little arrogant, because they understand that the white supremacists will use them as a buffer above us. You see? So when we use that term foundational, see that exposes a lot of the little janky advantages that they get, and that reminds these people that we were here before the nation existed. You see? And that demands lineage-based accountability. It's lineage specific. And also it challenges the narrative, and this is the thing that really gets them, family. It challenges the whole narrative that Africa is the root of all Black identity. They expect us to default everything to Africa. So we're supposed to pawn everything. Africa is the big old pot that we got to throw all the goodies in. Everything we do constructive, we got to throw it in the African pot. You understand? So when we use the term foundational, we are centering our American born identity. We ain't putting it on Africa. See, that undermines that whole Pan African identity complex. And they rely on that. They need that. So where the Blackness is automatically linked to Africa and a tribal lineage and all that. No, we emphasize the ethnogenesis. That's what we emphasize. We put that front and center. Our ethnogenesis is front and center. We became a distinct ethnic group with a distinct culture, distinct spiritual system, distinct historical experience on American soil. That's why they always try to redefine it. It's like a scorched earth thing. If they can't latch on to it, let's just try to destroy it. You can't destroy it. Yeah. And also, when we use the term foundational, that highlights their internalized anti-FBA sentiments. So a lot of them, they got that mindset where we're just supposed to be beneath everybody, and they come over and they're the new model minorities. They're supposed to inherit everything that we did great and then run with it. Yeah. But when we use foundational, we're reclaiming power, and that challenges them. That challenges the Hispanic immigrants, Asian. That challenges everybody. The white supremacists. That challenges all of that stuff because it's a correct term. It's not an ideology. See all that. Well, my problem is, well, a lot of the FBAs be voting for Trump, and that's inconsequential. Most foundational Black Americans vote Democrat. All right, let's stop all the bullshit. It doesn't matter what we vote. If we vote at all, I didn't vote at all, so they can't put that Trump shit on. I didn't vote for no damn body. I didn't vote for nobody. Doesn't matter. My lineage is the same. If you voted for Trump and you're foundational Black American, that don't change your lineage. If you voted for Biden and Kamala and your lineage goes to the beginning of this country, that doesn't change your lineage. See, that's why we don't let these folks get you into these inconsequential arguments that have nothing to do with your lineage. So I want y'all to understand that. They start talking about, well, I don't like FBA because the rhetoric. Okay, whatever the rhetoric is, that don't change the lineage. Y'all be calling nut tethers. That don't change the lineage. Y'all hate on me. That don't change the lineage. All right? It don't. It's still a lineage. It is a lineage, no matter what you do. If I'm hugging on a bunch of immigrants, it's still a lineage. If I don't want you to hug me, it's still a lineage. That's the thing that fucks you up. No matter what you say, no matter how much you whine, how much you cry, how much you talk in circles, how much you kick and scream, how much you type, you got a head group, you hate me. When you get off the internet, we're still a lineage. My lineage still goes back to the beginning of this country. Nothing changes that. That's the great thing about this delineation movement, ladies and gentlemen. It can't be changed. It is what it is. And that's what's messing with a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen. That's really messing with folks because they can't redefine it and they can't latch on to it. So these people are having nervous breakdowns out here. Ain't that right, Big GT over there in the UK? Eating a bowl of porridge, musty for breakfast. I'm not letting you on. I don't want to hear you babble. I'll get you on tomorrow. I don't want to hear that musty babble. It's too early. Anyway, let me get up out of here, family. Everybody, you know what I need y'all to do? I need everybody to go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum. Make a contribution to the Hidden History Museum and get the book there at hiddenhistorymuseum.com called Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Also, get the Rootwork deodorant at rootworkstyle.com. Get my book, FBA Race Baiter, at officialfba.com. And get the Mink Slide album at minkslide.com. All right, I'm up out of here, guys. It's been real. Papi Akute, Lolavuvi to the family. Peace.
I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. Hey, I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. 'Cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty. 'Cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty. 'Cause I got my real work on.